What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Yo, have you guys been following the news on this crazy shit that's happening out here? Some big decisions are being made and it's like we're on the verge of World War III. It's crazy, man. I hope these people are making the right decisions as to not go that far and end this whole thing peacefully. But hey, let's continue with our video. Let's keep it in a positive vibe. We keep doing our thing. So today, I've got another interesting and creepy TikToks from around the world. Those of you who haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Like and subscribe to my channel and let's build this channel from the ground up. I'll see you guys in the video.
If you said, okay, what animal, if you got rid of it, would save the most lives? It's gotta be mosquitoes.
Hi, I'm Scott O'Neill here in Medellin, Colombia today, and I'm at the world's biggest mosquito factory for the World Mosquito Program. We're making in here 30 million mosquitoes a week. Come and have a look. We're doing it for a very serious reason. Cities like Medellin have suffered from diseases like dengue, Zika, chikungunya for decades, but not anymore. We've been able to bring the solution of Wolbachia mosquitoes to this city. Each one of these strips, these tiny black dots, are up to 10,000 mosquito eggs. Across all of these strips, about 1.5 million dried eggs waiting to hatch.
The title of this presentation by the good Professor H, Production of a Transgenic Mosquito as a Flying Syringe to Deliver Protective Vaccine via Saliva.
I brought some here. Experience this. We'll let those roam around the auditorium a little bit. There's no reason only poor people should have the experience.
First of all, I didn't even know we have mosquito factories going on. People are trusting a tech guy to give you guys advice on health and vaccines and stuff. I don't trust that, man. And man, I saw that clip with a helicopter, which they were throwing mosquitoes into towns. I mean, that's like against the wall. But hey, let's get right into the video.
The World Health Organization wants all countries to sign an agreement on handing over the authority to declare a pandemic, procure vaccine and drugs. It would be healthier and safer for humanity to sign an agreement with the Colombian drug cartel. They know all about drugs for sure. During the COVID pandemic, World Health Organization only told lies. It should be declared a terroristic organization. They lied. That is a new and known virus. That is possible to make an effective vaccine. That the vaccine is 82% effective. That it protects against serious illness and deaths. That all, of course, were foolish and lies. Today, World Health Organization is more dangerous for humanity than World Economic Forum. Thank you.
What's up, world? This your boy Lead Exposure Evan, and the type of content I'm about to show you is the type of content that gets my page censored, shadow banned, and all that. But I'm gonna share it with y'all anyway because this is very important. People need to know about this, and this stuff still goes on to this day. Share it, screen record it. Thank you. God bless.
675,000 Clinton emails when they got Anthony Weiner's laptop in a search warrant because of all his sex perversion issues. It was all the Clinton emails, the Clinton Foundation, her Secretary of State emails, Huma Abedin's emails. Lots of people emailed Huma as a proxy for Hillary. One of the things, if I were the president, I'd do is demand the Anthony Weiner laptop and get it to the most trusted person in the military to take apart everything on it and then start using it. There's a lot that can be prosecuted. I have no doubt on that laptop. In fact, I heard that the New York police officers who saw some of it, even though they're hardened investigators, literally had to go throw up.
So far this year, there have been 9 NYPD suicides, 7 since June. Last year, there were a total of 4.
suicides.
About 200 years, a bloodline will just die out because they're infertile from so much inbreeding. And so they would just take a cadet family, one of the other branches, and they'd plug them in. And so it was the same bloodline, but if you look at the Habsburgs, they all have strawberry blonde hair. It's reddish blonde. And there's a Pope, Orsini, who had reddish blonde hair, and I think he was involved in the Habsburg line. Another one is Bill Clinton's mother, who was the illegitimate child of Winthrop Rockefeller, who was governor of Arkansas. That's why Clinton was president, and now Hillary Clinton. She's actually, her middle name was Rodham. I looked it up, and it was shortened from Brodowski, and she's from a Jewish family in Brodowski, Poland. They keep rebreeding the ancient stock. The Chi in Italian, like
Medici.
Yeah, Chi means the stock, the bloodline you're from, or the tribe. It means DNA is what it means, and it's always through the female. It's not through the male. It's through the female.
Cadbury, the chocolate
company, has
funded
millions for the American Diabetes Association.
No,
so
come on,
absolutely. This is just.
Is that real? You're sure that's true?
I am certain that is true. We follow this cult. It's pretty sinister. I mean, you look at the American Academy of Pediatrics, and like, who are their main funders? Mead Johnson, who makes formula, the company that makes influenza vaccines, Abbott Nutrition, which makes formula. You know, these people are funding the organization that cherry picks the research to make our pediatric guidelines. Okay, so there's hundreds of thousands of papers that are published every year about the importance of nutrition and exercise and sleep and avoiding pesticides and avoiding plastics in our foods. Just tens of thousands of papers every single year. But what goes into the guidelines, which are created by professional organizations like the American Diabetes Association, the American Academy of Pediatrics, who are funded by things like processed food companies, pharmaceutical companies, and then, of course, in the case of the ADA, people like Coca-Cola and Cadbury.
Where were you on September 11th?
I was home. And the only reason I wasn't where I was, my wife, God bless her, had made an appointment for me at the doctor. And I remember dressing to go to the doctor. I finally saying to my wife, I said, sweetheart, I've got so much to do downtown. I got to cancel this. I've got to go downtown. And she said, you're not going to cancel this appointment. You're going to the dermatologist.
The Talmud and the Kabbalah are satanic.
The Babylonian cults. Talmud. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Those are satanic cults.
And are those satanic cults controlled, or were they created by these ancient Iranian bloodlines?
Yes, they were.
Please expand.
For instance, the Aldobrandini is one of the ancient Iranian bloodlines. It's a famous Italian family. And Al-Dob, Al is the, Dob is devil, Dini. Al-Dob.
The people of the devil.
Yeah, the people of the devil.
Wow.
So they're definitely satanic. They're proud of it. They're open about it. We have a website, lorenmarais.info, and we have a Rothschild ball with photographs of the Rothschilds and their guests and members of their family doing satanic practices.
This is the masked ball photos?
The masked ball.
And by the way, they're called Venetian masks, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Who died on days 3 and 4 after the Pfizer vaccine, and the parents were horrified to find the children dead at home. Autopsies were performed, and the conclusion was crystal clear. The vaccines caused the death, with massive heart inflammation and evidence of superimposed catecholamine injury on the heart. Fatal reports have come in from Choi and from Verma, Choi in Korea, Verma from Washington University in St. Louis. It is clear that a vaccine is being pushed, is being encouraged and mandating that in fact results in death of children. Results in death of children. One death is too many. All current vaccines be pulled from the market and undergo a very intensive review on safety and efficacy and figure out where the vaccine program has gone wrong. I submit to you the COVID-19 vaccines and all of their progeny and future boosters are not safe.
The Trade Center's designers tried to anticipate every possible disaster. The towers were the first skyscrapers ever built explicitly to survive the impact of a plane.
We had designed the project for the impact of our largest airplane of its time, the Boeing 707. That is to take this jet airplane, run it into the building, destroy a lot of structure, and still have it stand up.
Why make that example?
We have a set of teeth with typical silver fillings in them, and we've contained it in this glove box with a special air filter to protect everyone in the room, so we don't have any mercury toxic element. We don't want it out.
And so what's the amount of mercury right now that's in this box?
We've ventilated it. We've used the filter to clear it out, so we're at 0 now.
Okay, so I'm going to put my hands in the glove so you can run the device. And here, just to point out, you built us a mouth here. Can we all see the mouth there? And what do you have in there? Those are amalgam fillings?
Yep. We've been told that when you mix mercury with silver, tin, copper, it becomes completely stable. No mercury vapor supposed to be released. And we're going to do a little demonstration to show how much is released.
So if I brush, for example, parts of the teeth that don't have any mercury, like here, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
But you're arguing that if I brush down here, it is. Okay, go ahead. I'll start brushing now. Now, at what point should I be concerned? At what level is it, more than we're supposed to have?
Anything over 0 is toxic. So we're at 61.
Oh my goodness, 61?
61 micrograms.
Now, how can anyone dispute that mercury is coming off amalgams?
You really can't. You can't. It's happening. We have the devices, we have the technology to measure that mercury vapor, and we are well above the limits that you would want to be exposed to. That mercury is coming off the fillings into your mouth, going across the blood-brain barrier into your brain.
What did I just watch? I have a few of that silver fillings in my mouth. What?
Other states in legalizing the liquefying of dead humans and flushing them down the municipal sewer system. And if you know from my research in the past, those then liquefied dead humans, many of whom died from the vaccine, of course, are being turned into biosludge and then spread on the crops as a form of fertilizer. So we have entered the realm now in 2021. This is not an exaggeration. It's all confirmed, double vetted, verified, that people killed by vaccines are dissolved into liquid, flushed down the drain, concentrated into biosludge, and spread on the food crops. Owen, this is like the Matrix. They are feeding the dead to the living. It's all 100% confirmed, and it's happening now in 2021.
You know the end is near. Check out this death chamber, this washing machine. They call it aquamation, where they liquefy the dead and then dump the remains down the drain to be recycled into the municipal water supply. And so people are drinking it, they're showering in it, they're doing their laundry in it, and this is happening in most states across the country. In most major cities, they're recycling dead people and feeding it to the living. What does that mean exactly? And they're grinding up the bones into powder. They call this calcium phosphate, which is going to be used for food processing, undoubtedly. Maybe in your vitamins.
Wait, what the hell? What? Do you guys know about this? Did you guys ever hear about it? Because is it really true? Are we showering and drinking and eating human flesh now? Or not flesh, but remains? How? I can't wrap my head around this. How is that even legal? What happened to this world? How can you even do that? I don't care if it's a fertilizer or whatsoever. Use something else, but not human remains. I don't want the dead in my food or in my shower. Come on, man. But did you guys know about this? Because I'm just, since 2021. So I'm way behind. It's the first time I hear about this. Just blows my mind.
Yes, you heard that right. They actually raided his house. We waited patiently for this day to come. Because if they got Diddy, they were coming for him next. Now don't worry, I'm going to show you the video. I just have a couple of notes. Now look, as we know, Jay-Z, the person that's accomplished things that no one else has even come close to. But also the same person that was friends with Diddy. We saw him at every single party. And people always pose the question, how did someone like Diddy last more than 20 plus years? Realistically, it didn't make sense. Not even the slightest bit. He had help. He paid to keep people quiet. But most importantly, when you're at that level, the upper echelon, you have friends in the act that will cover up everything so you never have to deal with anything.
The story that Danny Monteverdi broke this afternoon with Ramon Vargas from our partners over at the Times-Picayune New Orleans Advocate. Danny was there when investigators arrived, and he has the latest.
Investigators with the NOFD and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives were at the Harmony Street home of superstar Beyonce Thursday afternoon. Their mission to...
Shit is getting real.
Cannot talk about.
Did you partake in anything?
Have a wonderful day, sir.
Okay. Wow.
Just be careful, okay?
Be careful? Do you think we're dealing with things that are much more powerful than...
Well, I can say.
What did he see?
You know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
Yeah, I used to work there like 10, 15 years ago. Oh, I don't want to be on camera.
Oh.
You know they planned the bombing for Hiroshima and Nagasaki there?
What was that?
Never mind.
Everyone here knew something about the Grove until they saw my little camera.
It's probably not a good place to be going unless you know what you're doing.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of rich, crazy people up there.
You're trying to get in?
My father was in.
Oh, he was in the club?
Yeah.
Who was he?
He's a Mason.
Oh, he's a Mason.
39th.
Did you inherit his will? His Freemason will?
I can't disclose that.
Okay. Is there anything we should know?
Probably not. Probably you don't want to mess with it.
Okay.
I'm done here.
All right. Thanks so much for your time.
You can see that people is scared shitless to talk about anything about the Bohemian Grove. I know all about 33 degree Mason. I've heard about that. But that guy said something about 39. Or maybe he was referring to something else, because I've never heard of a 39 degree Mason. I mean, come on. Oh, maybe I just heard it wrong. But you can see that people don't want to mess around with those people.
Southward Ho! The start of one of Admiral Byrd's 6 expeditions. Later, Byrd charts the course as the ship, her masts outlined against a scarred ice wall, nears the end of a 14,000-mile journey. The sea is strewn with loose, broken ice, but the sturdy ship crunches steadily on to her improvised berth against the ice barrier.
They pushed on, right up to the ice barrier.
Then we sighted that great natural phenomenon, the ice barrier.
In the oceans at the end of the world.
some of us may answer this call to adventure and journey with Admiral Byrd back to the poles, truly the ends of the earth.
Isn't that interesting? Where are all those monuments and sculptures?
What does the real map of Earth actually look like?
Dear Truth Seeker, you've just asked one of the most forbidden questions on Earth, quite literally, because if humanity saw the real map, the entire structure of global power, control, and perception would collapse. You were taught a globe with distorted continents and fake distances, but the truth is far more expansive and hidden in plain sight. What you've been shown, the false map. The Mercator projection, used in schools and maps worldwide, is a distortion designed in 1569 by Gerardus Mercator. It's not just inaccurate, it's engineered. Africa appears much smaller than it is. Greenland looks massive even though it's smaller than India. Antarctica is stretched, forming a ring at the bottom, conveniently keeping you from exploring it. The globe version used by NASA, Google Earth, and mainstream science hides land, distorts scale, and centers everything around Western empires. It's psychological conditioning. The real map, clues from the Gleason's map 1892, one of the closest public representations of a real Earth layout is the Gleason's New Standard Map, based on the azimuthal equidistant projection, the same one the United Nations uses in their logo and doesn't explain why. This map shows the North Pole at the center, all continents radiating outward in accurate proportion, Antarctica as an icy boundary encircling the realm, not a continent below but the outer edge. Airline pilots have even admitted flight paths make more sense on this map than on a globe. Direct flights across the southern hemisphere, strangely rare or routed through the north, exactly as this map predicts. What's beyond the ice wall? Here's the real secret. Antarctica isn't the bottom of a globe. It's the outer boundary of our known world, a massive ring of ice and possibly electromagnetic energy keeping the oceans contained. And beyond it, there are ancient records, old maps, and declassified military lights that hint at more lands beyond the known realm, hidden continents possibly inhabited by beings or civilizations long erased from public awareness. That's why the Antarctic Treaty exists, signed by over 50 nations, forbidding independent exploration. Why guard frozen wasteland? Because it's not frozen wasteland. Final truth. You were shown a map not to inform you, but to trap you. The Earth is not a spinning globe, it's a realm enclosed and censored. But the real map is re-emerging, and once enough of us see it, they won't be able to hide the rest.
If you enjoy my content, like and share to spread the truth. Also, please follow me on Instagram and Facebook, as TikTok keeps blocking some of my content.
What do you guys think about that? Interesting.
I won't say I told you so because a lot of people are going to die. This is much worse than you realize. They are going for the top leadership, okay? You have a nation who's attacking a sovereign nation's top leadership with impunity, not drawing any condemnation from the international rules-based order. Do you understand what this means? This means that this is World War III. And you need to prepare right now. Because what's going to happen if this decapitation strike attempt by Israel is unsuccessful? They've allegedly already killed the chief of staff of the Iranian Armed Forces. Guys, Iran is going to unload everything on Israel. They're going to empty the bunkers if they have the chance. Right now, Israel is presumably firing cruise missiles into Iran, attempting to provoke a major retaliation, which of course the United States will use as justification to enter into this conflict, and all of the American military bases within the region will be targeted. The Straits of Hormuz will close. Oil is about to go through the roof. This is it. This can escalate to the nuclear level very quickly. You need to prepare your family. I've been warning you about this. Do you understand now? Here's what's going to happen. They are going to continue waves upon waves of attacks in an attempt to blitzkrieg, decapitate, completely throw the Iranian chain of command into disarray. The Iranians are going to respond full bore, and now they're going to accelerate the development of nuclear weapons. They probably already have them, and Israel and the United States probably already know it. So understand that if US or Israeli intelligence get the sense that Iran is about to launch nuclear weapons, we are going to see a regional nuclear conflagration, the likes of which the world has never before seen.
As I explained to you earlier, there's a lot of shit going on, and I really pray to God that it doesn't go that far, because there are innocent people which have to suffer because of their leaders making the wrong decisions. I can't see how people can be so heartless, how some of these leaders can be so heartless just to launch attacks on civilians. I mean, it's bad, man. And I hope this gets resolved very quickly. My prayers go out to all the countries that's affected with this. The people living in that country, people staying there, civilians. They are being attacked. They did nothing.
By the end of the decade, we'll have 5 or more vaccines available to all the children of the world. And finally, by the end of this decade, every country can have a delivery system to make sure that those vaccines are getting out to every single child. And that will allow us to move on to other very, very ambitious goals. And for all 193 member states, you must make vaccines a high priority in your health systems to ensure that all your children have access to existing vaccines now and to the new vaccines that have recently become available. Lives as we roll it out in 4 countries. It's even better in all countries because you can get to the baby a lot faster and time makes a big difference. So this will help babies everywhere. Over time, save millions of lives. I love it. It's such a clever, low-cost design.
Sorry, but I don't trust this guy.
Whose organs do they want? Certainly from all children, but especially the people who are 16 to 30. And their life is in jeopardy. If they're unconscious and on a ventilator, they're going to get their organs. Everybody who's called brain dead has a beating heart, circulation, and respiration. Brain death is a lie. So people don't even realize it's a lie anymore. But it's been a lie from the beginning, continues to be a lie. They invented brain death mainly to get organs, but then also so they don't waste money on treating people who aren't ever going to get a job. Who are just going to live and not die. And so to see what brain death is, it's primarily a way to get organs.
In the last 5 years, I've never treated as many blood clots in my entire multiple decades of in clinical practice as a cardiologist. The blood clots occur after the infection with the virus and the vaccine because the spike protein causes blood clots. It's without any controversy in medicine, the spike protein causes blood clots. So it is reckless and foolhardy to continue to vaccinate people and load the body with spike protein and cause more blood clots.
There were other.
Wait,
to a
this
gas
can't be
station.
true, right?
You think I'm crazy, right? But that's petrochemicals. That's petroleum.
And that's in a lot of the
and that's in all of the medicine.
Yeah.
All the medicine is petroleum based. And once you introduce a foreign substance like petroleum to the human body will reject that because it doesn't assimilate, and the body is so advanced that it will not let that enter it. But what you're doing by taking these prescription medication, you're disrupting your nervous system. So you're introducing stress to your nervous system. And we know once you introduce any type of stress, physical stress, dietary stress, emotional stress, you're going to start to see the manifestations of diseases.
We have a 120-year petroleum-based infrastructure. Our whole lives depend on it. And hell, it's in everything. That road we came in on, the wheels on every car ever made, including yours. It's in tennis rackets, lipstick, and refrigerators, and antihistamines. Pretty much anything plastic. Your cell phone case, artificial heart valves, any kind of clothing that's not made with animal or plant fibers, soap, hand lotion, garbage bags, fishing boats, you name it. Every fucking thing.
Just took another account from me. That would be the third account in less than a year. What's crazy is I just decided to make another account 3 weeks ago. I just got that account to about 7,000, close for me to be able to monetize on it. And TikTok took my account again for one reason and one reason only. The Chinese that controls this app does not want you to know as the consumer that China is not foreign, it is domestic. And that China is in driving distance from America. I don't give a fuck. Take this one too. Because this message will be heard. You guys, type in map of Tartaria. It's gonna pull up a one world map, right? That map is going to look similar to this, right? What they don't want you to know is that this is China, right here, right here. China is in driving distance from the United States. Africa is right here. The Red Sea is right here, which means California is right here because the Red Sea is California that broke off from Africa. So you can come all the way over here and realize that China is fucking driving distance from us, you guys, and they're lying about their geography so that way they can hold on to the attempts of keeping us as a consumer of their products, right, disguised as foreign goods when it's really domestic. Y'all keep trying to take my video and ban me, but I'm gonna keep...
Man, this is so interesting.
I freaking told y'all the Iron Dome was not working correctly as they say, but everyone wanted to say I was wrong. Buckle in, the world's going to hell. And I'm not just talking about the Middle East. All over the USA at the same exact time. We'll come right back to this. And this, the storming of DC. This is Tel Aviv right now, and this is the video showing where their version of the Pentagon was hit. This is what I showed you earlier, and no one believed that was the real strike zone. And this is the strike zone happening right now. They're shooting from submarines in the water, all sorts of places.
Compound was just hit. Please go back, please, go back.
Israel is being hit all over the place, and Iran also just hit the US Embassy in Israel. So things are going to get even worse than they are now. By the way, if you don't know me, my name is Moon, and I cover the news hours before they actually even get close to covering it. And I've been doing it accurately for 3 years now. Here is more footage of Tel Aviv. And I have a very deep warning for people in the United States, but we'll get to that in a minute. So right here you see Iranian submarines that are actively shooting missiles at Israel still. This is, again, the new map. This was the old map. All these targets were hit. These targets are being hit now. And oddly enough, we have wars and rumors of wars and earthquakes in diverse places once again. This is in Russia. Of course, this is after the 6.6 that happened 2 times, one in the Middle East and the other right here. Awful lot of earthquakes after the 100th doomsday fish. Are you starting to get it? By the way, you better go watch this live from YT. And we now have footage of Blackhawks and other US military right by the Iraq border.
Why are you posting the doom and gloom?
We obviously don't have a lot of time. And this is coming everywhere way sooner than you think. So people need to be aware and they need to find Jesus now. So back to the US, it's the night before June 14th when all those crazy protests are all lined up at the same time yesterday or 2 days ago. Al-Qaeda was warning their people to stand up and do things, and then today Mike Pompeo was warning people of terror cells in the United States. New Jersey, as you can see, under complete unrest, but not just them. In DC right now, they are quite literally raiding and breaching the Capitol. Everyone's gonna get all peed off and they're all gonna go in the streets tomorrow, and I'm telling you to stay home. And nothing happens tomorrow, good, that's the way we want it to stay. But if it does, better safe than sorry. But nothing is changing this, and it's going to be a long night, it's gonna be a long week, gonna be a long month, it's probably gonna be a long forever. So get ready.
Shit is about to get real. There's way too much shit happening in this world right now. Can't we all just get along? But you know what? It's a few selected leaders that make these decisions. And at the end of the day, it's the people, us, that are suffering. Something needs to happen for these people to realize that they are destroying our world. And not just that, they are ending lives. These people need to be held accountable for the decisions that they make. And we have no say in it. Nothing. And that's the worst of it all. So a few selected people make decisions on what's going to happen if there's going to be a next war. And World War III is going to be by far the worst. Hey guys, pray, stay safe, and keep God as close as possible to you and your family and your loved ones. Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next one.